Hello, Nigerians. Welcome to Niger Education TV, your home of edutainment. We bring you content from educational to entertainment, talk shows, debate, and drama. If you're not subscribed to Niger Education TV, I wonder what you're waiting for. Moving on to the main deal. From 21 states who registered, 8 teams made it to the quarterfinals and 4 to the semifinals. And today, we have 2 resilient teams facing each other for the finals. The nationwide inter-secondary school e-debate is brought to you by Bring It On Africa in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Education. And allow me to shout out to our collaborators, sponsors, and partner who has brought this to light. The Minister of Education, Dr. Murufu Olatuji Alausa, the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Nasir Sani Gwazo, the Director, Senior Secondary Education, Hajia Binta Abdulkadir, staffs of the department, and members of the Senior Secondary Division. More also to our host, Benue State Government. At the beginning of this event, I could not say welcome, Msunichi. But now I can proudly tell you all, Msune, which means thank you. To the State Governor, Hyacinth I. Aliad, the Commissioner for Education and Knowledge Management, Reverend Dr. Frederick Ikiang, to St. John and Paul Pastoral Center, our host community having us. I want to say thank you all for having us for this event. With that said, moving on to the main deal, like I said, the main deal. Debate has changed from mere extracurricular activity to a tool to enhance learning in the educational sector. These debaters have harnessed the critical thinking skills, the active listening, ability to carry out research, adaptability, teamwork, amongst other things. And now, to proceed in the finals, let me make welcome Esther Godwin, who is the moderator for this final between Team Ogun State and Team Plateau State.
Inakwana, Sanu, Amesiere. Today is the grand finale of the e-debate nationwide, and we are proud to present to you the 2 teams that have made it to the finals today. As we know, in a competition like this, one person has to win the cup. And today we're going to decide who takes the cup among the debaters. So moving forward, we have the Ogun State, their lead speaker in person of Adebajo Oluwa Pamilarin, and the first supporting speaker, Olo Yede Success, the second supporting speaker, Adeyemi Michael. Then to the opposition team, the Plateau State, we have the lead speaker in person of Ndam Jacob. The first supporting speaker, Iya Ochanya Michel. The second supporting speaker, Nico Delhop. And I want to advise us all, if you know you are not ready for this competition today, please get a glass of water and make sure you take a sip in every event that is happening, because you will definitely need it. So moving forward, let's welcome the first supporting speaker in the proposition team to open the case of their debate. And also, before I forget, the motion of this debate is poverty is the root cause of crime in our society.
Poverty. Poverty. A threat that threatens the very fabric of a society, that values emotions, that makes sure that everything we do is no more okay. Poverty. That makes sure that everything we do is no more okay. Poverty is not just the lack of money, it's the lack of dignity, the struggle to survive, to put food on the table, to make ends to meet. Poverty has different ways. Is it the child that dropped out from school and up on the street vulnerable to exploitation? Or a mother who sells her dignity just to fend for her family, forced into prostitution? Or a father who works and works, yet still can't provide for his family, vulnerable to depression? Or a graduate who searches for a job that doesn't even exist, yet lured into criminal activities? We live in a country where we are rich in resources, yet poor in opportunities, where corruption devours our future, where inequality divides us, where few feast and many famine. A country where we do not know what next to do. Poverty is not just an economic issue, it's a human issue. Is it the cry of a mother that lost her child in the death of preventable diseases? Or the sigh of a father who can provide for his family? Or the tears of a child who dreams of a better tomorrow? Poverty is not just born. It is born out of necessity. Crime is not born out of evil. It is born out of necessity. When you deny people of opportunities, you push them into the arms of crimes. So I say, respected panel of adjudicators, co-debaters, accurate timekeeper, and my ever-attentive audience, welcome to this tournament. I am Adeba Joluwa Pamilema Yorebeka. I have with me my supporting speakers. My first supporting speaker is Oloyede Success, and my second supporting speaker is Adeyemi Michael. We are delegates from the Gateway State. Our motive here on this day, dated 10th of November 2024, is to strongly stand in support of the motion, which is poverty is the root crime, or the root source of crime in the society. In the context of our argument as a team, I, as the lead speaker, will emphasize on economic factors. My first supporting speaker will emphasize on social factors, while my second supporting speaker will emphasize on policies and governance factors. Crime, society, poverty. Members of the House, permit me to do justice to the three key words in that motion. Poverty. According to the World Bank, a renowned international organization, they define poverty as the inability to reach a minimum standard of living, which includes access to basic necessities like food, shelter, and clothing. Crime. According to the International Police Criminal Organization, they define crime as any act or omission that is considered punishable by the court of law. Society. According to the Cambridge Dictionary, society is defined as a group of people who lived in an organized way, share traditions, inherent laws, and institutions together. Listen to me, everyone. Frank Roosevelt said, and I quote, "A society that ignores poverty will never conquer crime." Ladies and gentlemen, panel of adjudicators, according to the National Bureau of Statistics, 63% of Nigerians, that has been approximated to 133 million of people, still multi-dimensionally poor. To my first point, unemployment fuels desperation. What do I mean? Poverty leads to desperation among unemployed individuals, making them to be vulnerable, making them to have a sense of hopelessness, whereby they give in to kidnapping, banditry, crime suspects, and all of these to make sure that they survive. Hunger makes a thief of any man. Hunger of not only food, hunger of education, hunger of recognition, hunger of good health, hunger of shelter, hunger of inclusion, and hunger of humane treatment. Point number 2, low income drives illicit survival. When an individual is not properly paid, what do you expect? They do not have choices than to give in to financial crimes such as cyber crimes, money laundering, and fraud. For instance, the current inflation rate in Nigeria, what do you expect a man that is married just one kid to do with the just approved 70,000 minimum wage? To talk of feeding, to talk of electricity, healthcare, and other family matters. Traffickers in drugs and persons engage in what they do just because they need money. Even if they call the families of the victims, what they have is ransom. Point number 3, to say that rich people commit crime is to reach an ignorant conclusion. Because if you root the scrutiny root of their source of wealth, it is from crime. They fear poverty. That is why they do not want to detest from crime to continue to be rich. Point number 4, limited education. Do you know that when individuals and parents do not have access to education, they trap themselves in the self-perpetuating cycle of poverty? The EFCC confirmed that over the imprisoned rapists that are in the prison as at now, they are crimes and they are also victims of rapists just because they are owing to poverty and child abuse. Point number 5, poverty results in several psychological health problems. The ability to judge ineffectively, lower impulse control, and consequently reduce the urge to commit crime. All of this is driven by poverty. Can I have your point of information?
Okay, Speaker, you say that poverty is not the root cause of crime in the society. If poverty causes crime, why are some rich people experiencing increasing crime rates in the society? And
Panel
how
of agitators.
can you explain who
Poverty worsens crimes in our nation. That motion and that point stands out. Take for instance the case of a driver. This year, 2024, January 1st, had to kill his master and his family just because of money. When he was asked, he doesn't have any excuse other than money. Point number 6, broken families also contribute. Research has shown that criminals are from broken houses, whereby the parents go outside to look for jobs, but then crumble when their children are out there, including themselves in negative effects such as banditry, kidnapping, crimes, drug trafficking, and human trafficking. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, the chains of poverty forge the shackles of crime, enslaving individuals, communities, and nations. Today, we stand at a crossroad where the path to progress is fraught with the dangers of desperation, inequality, and hopelessness. But we can choose a different way, a one paved with empathy and education, where poverty, and let us break the cycle of poverty and crime to forge a better future, where every individual can thrive, free from shadows of want and the ingenuity of illicit gain. Together, we can build a society where prosperity and justice reign, and poverty destruct, influence, and eradicate them. As my first supporting speaker mount this podium, he will further elaborate on the economic factors, social factors, and with all of these, team propositions say, let the motion stand.
Okay. After listening to that first speaker from the team proposition, would you agree with me that poverty is the cause of crime in our society? Of course, I would advise you, don't judge. Please hear from two sides. All right, moving forward, let's invite the opposition team, the lead speaker, to open the case of this argument.
Panel, it seems that the lead speaker in the proposition team doesn't know what she is doing. She came to the stage and defined poverty as the lack or inability of people to put food on their table. If people cannot put food on their table, then tell me, how can such people think of committing crime? She said unemployment. Is unemployment under poverty? Definitely, a poor man cannot afford to send his child to school. Therefore, we don't expect such a child to be employed. Members of the House, even among all the poor people in the world, there is still a strong tendency of some to commit crime and some to strongly oppose crime. It therefore depends. Again, if poverty, as we say, is the real cause of crime in the society, why then is the variation? Although poverty may contribute, but it is not the significant cause of crime in the society. Rather, there are complex many other phenomena, such as social injustice, weak judicial system, socio-economic factors, peer pressure influence, amongst many others. Poverty is not the significant cause of crime in the society. And simplifying all this cause to poverty alone overlooks other critical influences. The chairman, panel of impartial educators, members of the House, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, humbly standing before his Ndam Jacob from the Government Model Secondary School, Ndam, the lead speaker in the negating team. Here to redeem the points I have to negate the proposition, this House believes that poverty is the root cause of crime in the society. But before I do justice to the motion at hand, permit me to explain the key terms in this proposition. Poverty is a state of being where one lacks the basic essential necessities of life, such as food, clothing, and shelter. Crime, on the other hand, is an activity or an action that goes against the rules and norms of a society and is punishable by law. Society is the group of people that live together and share common views, aspirations, as well as interests. We, the negating constructive team, have 16 strong, vibrant, crucial and important points to lay before this honorable house of great intellectuals. I, as the late speaker, will be extensively deliberating on the first 6. My first supporter will exclusively deliberate on the next 5, while my debunker will take the last 5 points, and she will at the same time debunk, rebut, counteract, and condemn erroneous, baseless, and factual concepts, which I'm very sure my opponents must raise in the cause of this argument. She is going to do that by providing this honorable house with statistics, scenarios, examples, references, as well as valid points to back up our claim. Poverty is not the root cause of crime in the society because of the following valid points. To start with, peer pressure influence. Peer pressure influence today is one of the major significant determinants of crime in the society. All of us seated here will bear me witness that most of our youth today in this country try to displease themselves in order to please the peers they associate with. As such, the possibility and tendency of them learning, emulating, and of course inculcating the bad habits their peers possess is high. Do this have anything to do with poverty? Research and statistics show that Nigerian institutions account for over 90% rate of cultism in the world. Most of our undergraduates today in the tertiary institution are cultists, therefore engaging in crime. Do this have anything to do with poverty? The weak judicial system in other countries around the world calls for attention. The judiciary in Nigeria is nothing to talk about. Their inability to dispense justice as it is, not as the selfish politicians want it, is low. The 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria provides that a criminal case should not exceed 6 months in the court. However, reverse is and still remains the case. The issue of Evans Chukwudi, a notorious kidnapper who was arrested and his arrest was linked to over 10 high-profile kidnapping, is getting to its 7th year and no final verdict has been passed. Evans single-handedly confessed that he indulged into kidnapping not because he is poor, but because he wants to live a luxurious life. Is this not greed? And does this have anything to do with poverty? I am sure my opponents will come and argue that poverty is the root cause of crime in the society. However, that is not true. Most of the people that commit crime today in Nigeria are not poor. The case of the suspended Minister for Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Dr. Betta Edu, is a clear example to this fact. She is said to have diverted 585.2 million naira to a private account number. Was this woman poor? Another example was the case of the former CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele, who was arrested over corruption scandal and misappropriation.
Point of information, please.
What is your point of information?
You said crimes in Nigeria due to socio-economic factors, cultism, and peer influence. But don't you think ignoring poverty exacerbates crime, even if other factors contribute? Address the House.
Members of the House, poverty is not the significant cause of crime in the society. We all seated here know that a poor man can never afford to engage himself in crime. We all seated here know that a child from a family where kidnapping, banditry, and armed robbery is the order of the day definitely shall also be a kidnapper, an armed robber, and also a bandit. Like I was saying, Godwin Emefiele was arrested over corruption scandal and money misappropriation in the Central Bank of Nigeria. Was this man poor? The poor and political instability in other countries today around the world also calls for attention. The citizens of Niger have been exposed to harsh weather of political tyranny that make them to migrate and leave their countries. They went to other countries as refugees, and in a scenario whereby their host countries rejected them, definitely they will see crime as the only source of livelihood and also a payback for being rejected. Does this have anything to do with poverty? The foundation parents lay at home to their children matters. You can never expect a child from a family where raping is the order and main business of the day not to be a rapist. Members of the House, religious fundamentalism and the imposition of strong beliefs in our community today should not be overemphasized. The Boko Haram are responsible for more than 30,000 deaths and the displacement of more than 2 million Nigerian girls, like the abducted Chibok secondary school girls and Dapchi. These people are not poor, but yet are the ones engaging in crime. Distinguished panelists, ladies and gentlemen, I strongly believe with this, I've been able to convince all of us beyond any reasonable doubt. I strongly believe I've been able to clear the doubts off our minds that poverty is not the root cause of crime in the society. Therefore, the motion this House believes that poverty is the root cause of crime in the society must fall and is totally not agreed to by the negating constructive team. Thanks, and believe this valid truth. Proud to oppose. Thanks.
Wow. This is getting tougher, and tougher. He said something, and I quote, "Poverty is the inability to acquire the basic necessity of life, such as food, clothing, and shelter." I ask you today, are you poor? All right. Today's debate is looking like a bigger elephant, not just the normal elephants we know, but this cup today, we're going to take it home. So we're going to move forward to call on the chief supporting speaker of the proposition team to further their argument. Thank you.
My friend in argument said poverty is not the root cause of crimes in our society, identifying other sources like countries who are wealthy, yet poverty rate there are low. Yet, according to the World Bank, crime exists, and especially poverty disproportionately affects crime rates. Wealthy individuals committing crimes often do so for power and thrill making. However, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to know that poverty-driven crimes stem from survival needs. Also, my friend here in argument here said poverty is not the root cause of crimes due to citing other sources like corruption, governance, and cultural values. However, research shows that poverty ignites desperation, and desperation in return fuels crime. For law enforcement agencies alone can't address these issues, as we have over 60% of Nigerian prisoners keep on offending. Investing in education and job creation alone cannot address this issue without addressing social inequalities, as we have over 40% of graduates face unemployment. Moreover, poverty significantly influences moral decision making. What then can we do to addressing these underlying issues of crime and poverty? Ladies and gentlemen, imagine a world where over 90 million citizens struggle to survive on less than $2 a day. Welcome to Nigeria, where poverty ravages communities, fueling a crime pandemic. Research from World Bank indicates that over 70% of Nigerians are struggling to survive, with over 18 million youth lack unemployment, and 1 in 5 Nigerians face food insecurity daily, while crime rates have increased significantly by 7% in recent years, with over 90% linked to poverty. Yet, poverty is not just a number. It is the face of a single mother working multiple jobs, a brilliant student drop out of school due to lack of funds, and an entrepreneur lacking access to credit. As we strive for Nigeria's Vision 2050, we must empower marginalized communities, confront these underlying issues, and break cycles of poverty to imagine a nation where everyone thrives. However, panel of adjudicators, esteemed friends in arguments, and timekeeper, the person standing before is only the success Oluwasegun Funmi. My chief speaker emphasized on how crimes are due to economic factors. In the context of my argument, buttressed by research analysis and evidences, I will prove to you that crimes in our nation are deep-rooted in environmental and social factors. And if I have your permission, I'll start by saying, first, the devastating grip of poverty extends beyond economic hardship, perpetuating cycles of wealth. According to the Nigerian Ministry of Health, over 40% of Nigerians live below the poverty line, and access to quality care, healthcare remains an unattainable luxury. I'm coming back. Also, over 67% Nigerians lack access to healthcare insurance.
And yet we expect crime not to thrive in our nation? Of course, no. According to recent statistics from the World Health Index indicated that Nigeria ranks 187th out of 189 countries with healthcare access in the world. Recent events such as the 2021 outbreak of monkeypox in Lagos exemplifies this challenge, where inadequate healthcare infrastructure exacerbated that pandemic of monkeypox in Lagos. Your POI, please.
Okay, Speaker, most of your points revolve around unemployment. But do you know that unemployment has nothing to do with poverty? And you have been giving us statistics. Go and tell us how poverty is not the root cause of crime in the society.
Good. In the context of my argument, I will address is POI because the main reason of unemployment in our country, according to the World Bank, is 70% due to poverty rate. Point 2. The stigma and marginalization of underprivileged communities is another vital reason that has led to widespread criminal activities in our countries. When communities are excluded from social services, they definitely become prone to criminal activities. According to the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation in 2022, indicated that the Niger Delta's oil-producing communities being marginalized and polluted experienced a 30% increase in crime and militancy rates. Also, the World Bank in 2021 estimated that Nigeria loses approximately $40 billion on violence and conflict while spending just $1.3 billion on social welfare. This disparity underscores investment in social services and community development initiatives, which helps us in breaking cycles of poverty and crimes in our country. Point 3. Nigeria's inadequate social services and support systems are another vital reason why criminal activities spread in our country. According to the United Nations International Children Emergency Fund, UNICEF, in 2022, indicated that over 10.5 million out-of-school children are denied access to essential skills, increasing their likelihood of engaging in criminal activities. Recent events, such as the COVID-19 pandemic, also highlighted these gaps, where over 40% Nigerians lack access to basic amenities. This desperation fuels crime rates, has experienced in the 70% increase in kidnapping and armed robbery rates in 2019, as documented by the Nigerian Police Force. Point 5. The Nigerian urban slums, characterized by overcrowding and unpleasant living conditions, is also a significant factor that has led to increased crime rates in our country, with over 60% of Lagos residents living in slums. According to the United Nations Human Settlement Fund, the effect is detrimental. Recent examples of these include places like Ajegunle and Mushin, where over 50% residents of those areas were victims of crimes, and over 50 deaths were recorded in 2019 just in that same area. Recent clashes has also happened along Lagos Ikorodu area, like clashes between the Red Hat and the Ayeko fraternity due to disputes over territory and resources, has also significantly led to over 100 deaths of life in 2020. Also, the Nigerian Correctional Services indicated that over 75% of Nigerian prisoners hail from urban slums. Point 5. Lack of access to necessary infrastructures like water, electricity, and sanitation is another reason that exacerbates criminal activities in our country. When communities are denied these essential skills, they definitely rely on other sources they could choose to survive from. According to recent statistics from the World Bank, indicated that over 43% Nigerians lack access to improved water sources, while over 55% lack access to electricity. This forces individuals to rely on illegal and alternative just to survive on their own. Ladies and gentlemen, panel of educators ask you, can Nigeria neglect its poor citizens and expect peace? Of course not. Point 6. Nigeria's environmental degradation and resource scarcity also fuel criminal activities in our nation. Deforestation, desertification, and pollution deprive communities of livelihood, fueling crime rates. With over 30% of Nigeria's land degraded, according to the Nigerian Environmental Agency, resource competition between farmers and herders sparse intensively, as exemplified by the 2021 farmer elder clashes that occurred in Oyo State. Also, desertification fosters extremism by depriving communities of their native land where they are living. According to the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, indicated that Lake Chad's 45% water loss and oil spillage has created a platform for illegal oil extraction. Ladies and gentlemen, the threats of poverty, inadequate social services, and infrastructural deficits are intricately woven, forming the tapestry of poverty in our country. As Nelson Mandela once said, poverty is not an accident. Like slavery and apartheid, it is man-made and can be removed by human activities. So I leave you with these words of President Muhammadu Buhari, the current president of Nigeria. I seek a peace founded on justice, peace, and equality for all, regardless of ethnicity, religion, and region. And so, T proposition says, end crime, end poverty.
End crime, end poverty. I drank Gary yesterday without sugar because I didn't have money to buy rice and beans. That's my favorite food. And now I'm here today, first with the topic, poverty. Is it the root cause of crime? Will I go and steal to buy rice and beans? Or would I just stay for God to provide for me? I think I'll find my answer at the end of this debate. Moving forward, let's call on the opposition side, the second supporting speaker, to further the case of their argument.
The world is full of crime. Some argue that poverty is the cause for many offenses we see in the society. I acknowledge that poverty can influence crime. It should not be considered to be deterministic. The causes of crime are many and are too complex to be reduced to a single cause. Therefore, I disagree with the assertion poverty is the root cause of crime in the society. Good afternoon, impartial panel of judges, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michelle Ochai-Iya, a proud student of St. Augustine's College, Jos, and the second speaker of Team Plateau, here to oppose the motion which states, this House believes that poverty is the root cause of crime in the society. Firstly, crime exists in wealthy societies. Crime is not exclusive to only poor societies, as we see many high-income countries, like the United States of America, experiencing crimes such as violence and organized crimes. Despite their wealth, they experience white-collar crimes like fraud, corruption, and tax evasion among individuals and corporations in the society. Let's take, for example, Bernie Madoff. Bernie Madoff was the financer behind the largest Ponzi scheme in history. Despite being the chairman of the National Association Security Dealers Automated Quotation Stock Exchange and having a net worth of over $126 million, he defrauded investors of approximately $65 billion. Madoff's crimes were not driven by poverty. No, but by greed and a desire to maintain his lavish lifestyle. He was arrested in 2009 and sentenced to 150 years in prison because of his hand in the massive fraud. Tell me, ladies and gentlemen, if poverty is the root cause of crime, why do we see rich people committing crime in the society? Secondly, psychological factors. Criminal behavior is influenced by psychological factors such as psychopathy, sociopathy, and mental health disorders. All of this can drive an individual to crime despite their socio-economic status. A good example of a criminal who was driven to crime by psychological factors is Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy was a notorious serial killer in the United States of America. Despite being from a middle-class family and being highly intellectual, he was said to have killed at least 30 women in the 1970s. His crimes were not driven by poverty, rather by sociopathy and a compulsion for power, all of which have nothing to do with poverty. Thirdly, community breakdown and social factors. According to the social disorganization theory, workshop. Lastly, media glamorizes crimes and criminals. We live in a society in which the media portrays crimes and criminals in a way that makes their behavior seem exciting, admirable, or even heroic. Movies, television shows, video games depict criminals as powerful figures who live extravagant lifestyle, achieve great wealth, and exercise power over others. For example, gangster films like Scarface, The Godfather, television shows like Breaking Bad often portray criminals as larger-than-life characters who rise to power through illegal means. This can romanticize and even encourage individuals, especially young people, to view illegal activities as a legitimate or even a desirable path to success. For example, the 1999 Columbine High School shooting in Colorado, which received wide media coverage, was linked to copycat incidents by the students from the media. Even in Nigeria, cult clashes are prevalent in Nigerian universities, with members engaging in violence against rival groups. The glamorization of gang loyalty and power on certain media content can sometimes drive individuals to join these groups. Panel of judges, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, before I step down from this platform, I would like to leave you with the true words of Aristotle. He said, the greatest crimes are not committed for the sake of necessity, rather for the sake of superfluity. I believe by these cogent points I presented to you, you are now fully convinced and now agree with me that poverty is not the root cause of crime in the society. Thank you.
And to our beloved viewers, we apologize for the break in transmission, and it has been controlled. Okay, moving forward, let's invite the proposition team to further the case of their argument. To our beloved viewers watching us online now, we apologize for the break in transmission earlier, and it's under control. All right, moving on, we invite the second speaker from the proposition team to further the case of the argument.
Ladies and gentlemen, my friend in argument said that crime is caused by bad values. But I want you to believe that it is poverty that makes the people feel hopeless and forget the good values. My friend in argument also said that corruption causes crime. But I don't know why you should believe them, because it is the poverty that makes the corruption worse, leading to more crime. My friend in argument also said that it's the people that choose to commit crime. It is not the people that choose to commit crime. It is poverty that leaves the people with free voice to commit crime. But before I proceed, as a well-cultured child, I would like to give honor to whom it is due by saying, good evening, Honorable Chairman, esteemed panel of charges, distinguished timekeeper, and of course, my laudable audience. The personality standing here before you is Adeyemi Michael Adiola, a bona fide delegate of Ogun State. As a team, while my chief speaker has emphasized on the economic factors, and my first supporting speaker who has also expatiated on the social and environmental factor, I, as the second supporting speaker for the side proposition, will kindly expatiate on the psychology, policies, and the government factor. My distinguished audience, I stand here before this august gathering, this day dated 10th of November 2024, and my mission here is to kindly propose the motion that really and truly poverty is the root cause of crime in our society. And these are the evidence to prove and to justify to you that this House strongly believes that poverty is the root cause of crime in our society. Point one. In many Nigerian cities has a significant challenge. The United Nations recorded that 70% of the Nigerians struggle with waste maintenance. In Lagos, this city generates 13 tons on waste dailies, but it is only about 40% of it was properly collected and disposed of the Lagos State Waste Management Authority. My distinguished audience, in neighborhood like Adegule and Makoko, where many poor family lives, my distinguished audience, waste piles up on the street, leading to unsanitary condition. This frustration of living in such poor condition can lead to hunger, and some individuals might resort to crime in order to express their dissatisfaction with the government's neglect of the basic need. Point 2. Living in poverty leads to significant stress and anxieties. According to the National Bureau of Statistics in 2023, they recorded that 55% of the Nigerian people experienced a high level of stress due to lack of job, financial insecurity, and food scarcity. The World Health Organization, WHO, also highlights that... Please. Let me have your point of view, mission.
You said according to Lagos, there was a high rate of crime recorded due to poverty. Can you give the house the source, the date, and also the newspaper that reported that? Address the house.
Your question again, please.
Address the house.
Ladies and gentlemen, the source is from Lagos State, January 1st, 2020. My distinguished audience, the World Health Organization, WHO, also highlights 20% of the Nigerian students who face mental health issues, many of which are directly related to the pressure of living in poverty. My distinguished audience, this stress is particularly acute among the young Nigerian, especially in the northern Nigerian, where growth unemployment stand at 42.5%. The inability to secure job and meet basic need creates desperation, leading the people to commit crime and protest violence as a means of coping. Point 3. Many Nigerians, particularly the young Nigerians, feel hopeless due to the lack of opportunity and high unemployment. The Nigerian Economic Summit Group in 2023 reported that over 70% of the young people feel that there is no hope for better future. My distinguished audience, in the Niger Delta, where oil health has not benefited the local communities, these young people turn into illegal activities like oil bunkering, which is the oil illegal theft. The unemployment, which affects over 40% of the young people by the National Bureau of Statistics in 2023, created a sense of hopelessness because they see few in improving their situation as a legal means. Point 4, my ladies and gentlemen. Corruption in Nigeria is significantly contributes to poverty and crime. Transparency International in 2023 ranked Nigeria 150th over 180 countries in time of corruption. And the Nigerian Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative in 2023 reports that over $15 billion is lost annually due to the corrupt practice. This corruption prevents the government to use resources to improve healthcare, security, infrastructure, and education. For example, billions of dollars are stolen or misused, leaving the poor with fewer opportunity and increasing their likelihood in engaging in criminal activities. The misallocation of resources also allows breed frustration and district in the government further fueling crime. Point 5, ladies and gentlemen. A weak law enforcement system also allows crime to thrive in Nigeria, with over 200 million people with just 3,000 police officers. Nigeria has police to citizen ratio far below recommended level, and which was recorded by the United Nations. My distinguished audience, according to the Global Peace Index, Nigeria ranks 148 out of 163 countries. My distinguished audience, due to reflecting the ineffective and and underfounded the law enforcement agencies. In the northeast, areas like Borno and Yobe, where insurgent group operate, my distinguished audience, this police response allows this group to enroll the young people Nigerians who are desperate of money. Now, can you see the reason why poverty is the root cause of crime in our society? In conclusion, poverty is deeply connected to crime with poor waste maintenance, stress, hopelessness, corruption, low self-esteem, and the law enforcement contributed in the rise of criminal activities. Tackling poverty is the key to breaking the cycle of crime and building a brighter and more prosperous future for our country. And with this highly convincing and justifiable point of our team, we have succeeded in brain feeding you without any iota of doubt in order to agree with us that really and truly, this house strongly believes that poverty is the root cause of crime in our society. And I want you to believe that the team proposition says, united against poverty, united against crime. Thank you. And then your POI.
POI time has elapsed. I advise you get used to the technicalities in the debate.
But why do you ask me a question when the POI's time has already gone?
Okay, when two elephants fight, definitely the grasses will suffer. So I also advise again, take your water. All right, moving forward, let's welcome the second supporting speaker from the opposition team to further the case of their argument.
The first speaker from the team proposition came here and said that rich people commit crime because they are afraid of poverty. So what she's trying to say is that it's rich people that commit crime because they are afraid of being poor, not the people suffering from poverty. While poverty may contribute to crime in the society, it is not the root cause of crime in the society. Impartial panel of judges, my co-debaters, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am Nicole Pereira Dalio, a student of St. Augustine's College, the third speaker for Team Plateau, here to strongly oppose the motion which states that poverty is the root cause of crime in the society. I strongly oppose the motion with the examples of the happening in Nigeria. Firstly, political corruption. If poverty was truly the root cause of crime in the society, well then will a former minister of petroleum resources engage in a multi-million-dollar embezzlement and money laundering? In 2020, Denazdi Addison Maduke was accused by Nigerian government for embezzling about $24 billion during her tenure. Despite the high poverty rate in Nigeria, her actions were due to greed and desire for power. So this shows that financial gain and abuse of political power are more significant roles to crime rather than poverty. So this shows that poverty is not the root cause of crime in the society. Secondly, cybercrime, also known as Yahoo Yahoo. Why would Nigerian youths coming from wealthy families with access to education and basic resources engage in internet fraud, also known as Yahoo Yahoo, when they can engage in other careers that will help their lives and the economy? How will you blame poverty for this? According to the Nigerian Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, in 2019, young Nigerians from wealthy backgrounds and middle backgrounds were involved in defrauding victims globally, with estimates suggesting that over $500 million was lost due to internet fraud in recent years. What's your opinion?
You said crimes like cyber crimes were due to you said cyber crimes also involve wealthy people. But according to the Nigerian Society for the Prevention of Cybercrimes, indicated that 60% of youth involved in cybercrimes like Yahoo Yahoo come from poor households. Address the house.
But according to Nigeria's Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, in 2019, young people, especially from middle class, not poverty, higher class, that's wealthier backgrounds, were involved in defrauding people globally. We estimate of $500 million lost due to internet frauds in recent years. So this shows that it is not poverty, but hunger for more wealth and even boredom and idleness can make these youths to commit crime, not poverty. So how can you blame poverty for this? Thirdly, gang violence. Can we truly say that all these gangs that operate with members from high class and middle class backgrounds are driven by poverty when they already have resources? No. So data from the Nigerian police and local reports highlight that youth, especially in Lagos, are involved in violent crimes such as assault, arson, and drug trafficking, and many of them were said to be from wealthy and middle-class backgrounds. For example, one of the largest youth gangs in Lagos, also known as the Ajao Estate Boys, consists of individuals who engage themselves in this violence not because they are financially unstable, but because of peer pressure, a desire for power, gang loyalty, and even entertainment. They engage in these violent crimes because of fun. So this shows that social environment and peer pressure are need for social status is a significant role that plays in crime other than poverty. So why blame poverty as the root cause of crime in the society? Thirdly, oil thefts and bunkering. If poverty were the root cause of crime in the society, why will wealthy individuals and corporations with vast resources involve themselves in oil theft and bunkering, which is one of the biggest crimes in Nigeria? According to the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, Nigeria loses about 2 billion naira annually to illegal theft and oil bunkering, a crime carried out by well-connected elites in the oil industry, not poor people. What can even bring poor people to this kind of crimes? Wealthy businessmen and local political figures have been implicated in illegal oil theft and schemes of oil bunkering, despite living in wealth. So why blame poverty when this shows clearly that poverty is not the root cause of crime in the society?
Point of information.
Furthermore, effects of social media on youth and crime. The rise of social media platforms have introduced a new dynamic of how crime should be committed and reported. Moreover, platforms like TikTok, Snapchat, and Instagram are often used to share and promote illegal activities, including vandalism, violence, and gang-related activities, influencing others, especially the youth, to engage in such behaviors just for social media fame and peer validation. YouTube and TikTok challenges have inspired adolescents to engage in illegal crimes and dangerous acts, from shoplifting to destructions of properties, all for the sake of getting viewers, followers, and social media fame. How can you blame poverty for this? The media in general, whether television, films, social media, encourage crime because it glamorizes it, making it fun to engage in. So how can you blame poverty for this? My friend in argument said that people don't choose to commit crime. While poverty and crime may correlate, correlation does not really mean causation, because people living in poverty choose not to commit crime. A lot of people living in poverty choose not to commit crime. In countries like Bangladesh, with most of its population living in poverty, these people choose to be law-abiding. Unlike other wealthier countries like the United States of America, with little or no poverty rates, but having high crime rates in their society. Is this country having poverty? Are they poor? No, but they have crimes in their society. So how can you blame poverty for this? According to the study by the World Bank, low-income regions report lower crime rates than many wealthier areas, undermining the ideas that poverty directly drives to criminal behaviors. So if poverty was the main root of crime, why do wealthy people engage in such acts? Clearly, poverty can contribute to crime, But other things such as greed, personal ambition, and political power are more significant things that adhere to poverty, that adhere to crime rather than poverty. Then why blame poverty as the root cause of crime in the society? With these cogent points of mine, I hope I'll be able to convince you that poverty is not the root cause of crime in the society. Thank you.
Is poverty the root cause of crime in our society? We're yet to find out. Moving forward, let's invite the lead speaker from opposition team to end the argument.
Are you aware? Back to the podium, Ms. Ndam Jacob, the lead speaker in the negating team from the Government Model Secondary School, Shandam, Plateau State, here to give a brief and concise version of what my teammates and I have earlier presented. Members of the House, most of the team proposition argument is in favor of negating this topic. They made mention of points like unemployment, cultism, corruption, poor educational system, and many others, which are the factors that contribute to crime apart from poverty. 3 points of information were raised. 2 were not answered very well. Even one that was answered is a very big lie. The speaker said Lagos State reported in 1st January 2020, but that wasn't it. Lagos State government reported on the 15th of October 2017 through the Punch newspapers. Does it mean we are here to lie? Another thing to note is that the proposition team are using their phones to browse point of information. They are using their phone to browse their reply speech to come and lay before this honorable house. Is this among the technicalities of our debate? Members of the House, my opponents mentioned that kidnapping, armed robbery, and corruption are the major source of crime in the society. That means they are supporting the negating team. Welcome to the oppositing team. Members of the House, I, as the lead speaker in the opposition team, have successfully deliberated on 6 points, which are lack of employment opportunities, peer pressure influence, weak judicial system, breakdown of societal norms and values, religious fundamentalism, and extremism of the imposition of cultural beliefs, amongst many others. My first supporter has also succeeded in extensively, exclusively, and also well deliberating on 4 points, which are psychological factors, crime exists in wealthy backgrounds, unemployment, and the media, which today in Nigeria refer to crime as a major source of fun, as a major source that is not driven from poverty. Again, my debunker, after debunking, after rebuting and counteracting the erroneous and baseless points that was raised by my opponent, also exclusively deliberated on 5 points, which are political corruption, cybercrime, violence, all theft and debunkery, and also drugs addiction. Members of the House, I strongly believe that with the points laid by the team opposition before this honorable House, we all are convinced, we all have been cleared the doubts in our minds that poverty is not and will never be the root cause of crime in the society. Moreover, international organizations such as the United Nations and European Unions declare that poverty is not and it will never be the root cause of crime in the society. Panel of impartial educators, members of the House, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we, the opposition team, have successfully put smile on all our faces, as even my opponents and the judges are nodding their head in affirmation that poverty is not and it will never be the root cause of crime in the society. Therefore, the motion, this House believes that poverty is the root cause of crime in the society, must fall. Thanks, I'm proud to oppose.
Thank you so much, the lead speaker from the opposition team. That was a very great one. And we will also invite the lead speaker from the proposition team to end the case of their argument.
Back to the stage once again is Hadeba Joluwa Pamilerian Rebecca, still proudly proposing that poverty is the root cause of crimes in the society. Panel of adjudicators, there is one thing I want to clarify. The first speaker from the opposing team has what we call mannerism. What is mannerism? Mannerism is when the audience focuses on your actions and no more the words of your mouth. And we could all agree that what he came here to do was to shout, speak, and leave. Another thing, all of their points, right from the first speaker, the first supporting speaker, and the second supporting speaker revolved on wealthy people also commit crime. You were here when I and my supporting speakers buttressed that when wealthy people commit crime, go and search the roots of their wealthiness. It is from crimes. How is it from crimes? They even employ poor people to work for them, delegating and thoroughly involving in crimes just to make sure that they continue being wealthy because they fear poverty. Also, Nnamdi Jacob mentioned that inefficiency judiciary, but I want you to remember that poverty remains the primary cause, while even people in judiciary offices are going through all the crimes that we call lack of accountability. They also said that wealthy people are already involved in crime, and then I already countered it that we should search the roots of their wealth. Boko Haram, they mentioned of Boko Haram. If Boko Haram are properly okay, why are they disturbing the government? Why are they kidnapping our girls? Why are they kidnapping people? Just because poverty still remains the root cause. They also keep asking one question: why should we blame poverty for crimes? But I will tell you, because poverty is the root and the mother of all crimes in Nigeria. They couldn't buttress their points when they were saying that poverty around wealthy people and with already legal points that are there. Could you compare the proportion of the nature and crimes that wealthy people commit to the crime that the poor people commit? Their own often results from greed or abuse and not desperation. They mentioned corruption. Corruption makes poverty more worse. They also said that they asked the POI. Yes, you asked the POI even after it was 7 minutes after, meaning your time has elapsed. Ladies and gentlemen, poverty shatters her dreams, ravaged her community, and stole her hope. My opponent also mentioned that it is essential to recognize that poverty fuels cult recruitment. In fact, studies show that economic empowerment programs decrease cult involvement. So let's address the root cause and not the symptoms. They also mentioned that crimes are due to the judiciary system adopted, but poverty ensures that the most vulnerable are unevenly represented in the prison. Panel of adjudicators, members of the House, to culminate, I have elaborated on the state, explicated on the fate, and accentuated the weight of poverty in today's debate. We must contemplate, we must deliberate, and facilitate change, not to procrastinate. The stakes are elevated, and the role of effective measure aimed at addressing poverty in this dark strait paramount and not to underrate. Panel of educators, remember to do justice to the mannerism which is against a debating ethics in this debate. Thank you all for listening.
Indeed, thank you all for listening. Poverty is the root cause of crime in the society, bringing us to the end of the nationwide inter-secondary school e-debate. I will boldly and proudly say that the vision of Bring It On Africa is being realized, which is to enhance oratory skills and digital competitiveness, which we've all seen played out excellently among these intellectuals. While the judges are piling up the point, allow me recognize the presence of the Commissioner for Education and Knowledge Management. He stepped in while we were having the debate. Moving on, allow me to welcome the National Coordinator for the Nationwide Inter-Secondary School e-debate, Mr. Weke Chibo, for his address. Thank you.
The Honorable Minister for Education and the Honorable Minister for State for Education, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education, Federal Ministry of Education, the Director, Senior Secondary School Education, Senior Secondary Education, Haji Abinta Abdulkadi, His Excellency, Executive Governor of Benue State, Reverend Dr. Hyacinth Alia, the Honorable Commissioner for Education, Dr. Frederick Ikeyan, the members of the staffs of the Ministry of Education, Benue State, and all the members of the committee, staffs of the Federal Ministry of Education, the adjudicators, the debaters, the coaches, ladies and gentlemen. Permit me to stand on the sitting protocol to officially announce to you that we have come to the end of the 2024 nationwide inter-secondary schools e-debate competition. It was like a dream when we bettered this initiative to sell our education content on the global space. I am proud to say today that we have already engaged over thousands of viewers on our digital space, streaming and watching this content on our digital space. One of the things we want to achieve here is to promote our young ones, give them the platforms to showcase their existing talents. Also, I want to also announce to you that because of this project, 2025, we are organizing the first ever African Anglophone Schools e-debate competition. The winners of Nigeria is going to be hosting this competition in Abuja, and we have already selected the teams that will represent our country in this contest. And of course, it's part of our ways to make our children to match with the other African countries. And one of the aim of this African Anglophone debate is to discuss issues that affect Africa. We are working that project with UNESCO and other NGOs in Uganda, Rwanda, and other countries that we are trying to come together to organize this project. I'm proud to announce to you that the countries coming for this contest is Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda, Nigeria, Botswana, Ethiopia, Ghana, Zambia, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Malawi, Sudan, Liberia, Tanzania, Gambia, Cameroon, Lesotho, and Seychelles. What we are trying to do is to invite them. Let's discuss issues that affect Nigerian, African as a continent. And also, let us have been meeting to most of these countries, and we are going to get a reply from some of them. We hope by end of this year to summarize with all the invitees. This project will be kicking off on May 2025. We've not actually announced the particular date for this contest, but I want to first of all officially announce that it's happening next year. Meanwhile, why I want to make this speech is to personally appreciate the Benue State government. When we started this project, it was a passion from the governor of this, His Excellency Governor Dr. Hyacinth Alia, and the Commissioner for Education. They want us to bring this thing to their state because they understand the vision of promoting quality and digital education in their state. And when I was here for over 3 months, and I see the kind of passion that the state have in the education sector. And I want to personally appreciate and commend the governor and his team, heavily, the leader of this team, the leader of this vision, the commissioner, who is also trying to promote the vision of the governor in the education sector. We appreciate your hosting. We enjoy all your meals. We enjoy your tea and butter in the morning. We enjoy all your apple and cassava that we eat in the morning. We enjoy everything that you people have given us in this contest. And I want to say proudly that Benue State is indeed a state that is born with quality and assurance education in Nigeria. And I want to also promise you people that we are going to ensure to support you in any way we can to sustain this vision, because what we are trying to do is not just about digital debate in national. We want to also support states that wants us to help them to promote this vision across their state. Of course, we have a room for improvement. We are trying to raise at least $1 million grant. We already started that initiative with World Bank, USAID, and United Nations to see how we can bring in money to support this vision, because it's expensive to promote digital debates, but also it's very easy to do that. So when we have this funding, we're going to support states to give them the hard ways that they need, so that next year you don't need to be traveling around from different states to come and do your debate. You can stay in your state and we'll transmit live for you. So we hope to get this funding, and once this funding comes in, we are going to help states to help them to get these things actualized in their state. Also, I want to also appreciate the governor of Taraba State, Governor Abu Kefas, for all his support so far in this competition, to the Commissioner for Education, Taraba State, Commissioner for Kaduna State, Commissioner for Yobe State, and other commissioners that have always been supporting in this project, also calling to ensure that we achieve this vision. I want to appreciate you guys, you all, for what you have done. Today, we are going to determine the national champions. Before I do that, we say that we cannot come here and will not appreciate the governor of Benue State for his remarkable achievement in the education sector. When you go to basic education sector, you will see his achievement. When you go to tertiary institution sector, you see the achievement. When you go to senior secondary school department, you see his achievement. This is a man, I'm not from Benue State, I'm not a politician, but I've seen his vision in the Benue State education sector, and we say we cannot live here without giving him the accolade that he deserves. So I want to proudly announce the viewers, the audience watching us live, that we have an award for His Excellency Reverend Dr. Isent. Can I get the award? So this award is on merit. We have look at all his track record. The video will be playing on your screen, and you will see all his track record and understand why he deserves to be awarded. You can't have such person, and I know what is spent. It costs them to host this debate in the state. It costs them money to host with one state in a debate. It's not easy, but it depends on it has to go with the passion that the governor have. That's why we want to offer him this award. Of course, we don't have money to offer him, but I feel this will go a long way to encourage him to keep on making Benue State people proud and keep on promoting quality and advanced education in the state. I want to first of all call with dignified respect the Commissioner for Education, Reverend Dr. Frederick Ikian, to come and receive the award and also give us his closing speech and welcome speech before the judges will announce the winners of this competition. Of course, Commissioner will also give the trophy to the winners. That's why I want to allow people to take your time. So by the time he's done with his speech, you announce the winner. He will stay back, announce the winner, and give the title and the medals to the winners. And of course, we're going to take pictures and we'll call it a day. I want to congratulate the team. I don't know who's going to be the winner. It could be Ogun, it could be Plateau, but whoever that is going to be the winner, you deserve it, because you have been here from the first day and you have been proving that you have what it takes. Whoever that wins this competition, congratulations. Thank you, sir. So, sir, please, this award is to. I want to read the award, sir. All right. Sorry. No. Let me read the award. The award is 2024 Nationwide Inter-Secondary School Debate Competition. Present this award to His Excellency Reverend Dr. Isent Alia, the Deputy Governor of Benue State, as the best governor in the North Central on education reforms and development. On this day, Sunday, 10th November 2024. So I want to congratulate Mr. Governor and also his team for a job well done. Thank you, sir. So, sir, you can come and give us your welcome speech and let's announce the winner, sir. Thank you, sir.
I appreciate that you have been here for long. I don't want to bore you with much protocol, but to adopt the protocol that my brother Nweke has just established. I recognize every effort that has come into this from all the distinguished guests, the participants, the coaches, the Federal Ministry of Education, and all others. It is therefore with immense gratitude and a deep sense of humility that I stand before you today to accept this prestigious Education Vanguard Governors Award. I extend my heartfelt thanks to the organizers for this honor. This recognition is not just for me, but for every dedicated educator, stakeholder, and visionary who has contributed to strengthening the education sector in Benue State and beyond. Together, we're building a legacy of intellectual growth and positive change. Today marks the successful conclusion of the maiden edition of the e-debate here in Makudi, Benue State. This initiative represents a milestone in our collective journey toward nurturing critical thinking, enhancing communication skills, and empowering the youth through digital platforms. The e-debate has proven that we equip our young people with the right tools and spaces, that when we do this, they can become confident advocates, bold leaders, and responsible citizens capable of shaping a better future. To the talented winners that will soon be announced of this inaugural edition, I offer my heartfelt congratulations. Your commitment, creativity, and eloquence have illuminated what it means to be an engaged citizen of our state and our nation. You have demonstrated excellence in critical dialogue and shown to us the promise of a future where debate is a channel for constructive change. Today, you stand not only as winners, but as sources of hope and inspiration for other young minds. I also wish to extend my sincere appreciation to all participants who joined this platform. You are the heart and soul of the e-debate. Each argument you made and every idea you shared has enriched our collective discourse and inspired all of us. I therefore encourage you to keep striving, keep growing, and know that your voices matter. In celebrating this milestone, I must commend the tireless efforts of all stakeholders who worked to bring this vision to life, from educators and mentors who guided these brilliant young debaters to the technical experts, sponsors, and organizers who have poured their energies into this initiative. I say thank you. Your hard work has planted seeds that will bear fruit for generations to come. The e-debate is a clear testament to what we can achieve when we come together with a shared commitment to excellence and innovation. As we accept this award and celebrate the success of this groundbreaking event, let us renew our resolve to keep the torch of education burning bright. Let us remain committed to creating more platforms that elevate our youth and prepare them for the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow. Once again, thank you very much for this great honor, and congratulations to all participants, winners, and stakeholders of the e-debate 2024. Together, we shall continue to make Benue State and Nigeria a center of educational excellence and transformative leadership. Thank you very much, and may God bless you all. Congratulations once again.
Sir, please, you stay behind so that they will call the result and you alpha. I know you are a busy man, so that the judge come out. So, Judge, can you come and before the judge start coming up, please let me also appreciate all our sponsors, UNESCO. Of course, the Federal Ministry of Education have always been our backbone, and they have always supported this project from the day one, led by the director of Senior Education Department. The sponsors, UNESCO, Women Awake, who is also sponsoring some of the prize gifts, Unifinder, we have Learning Impact, and all other sponsors we have. We want to appreciate you for what you have done. We have actually come to the end, and I want to tell you that we made it. So let me welcome the judge to give us his impartial jurisdiction. Yes. Thank you. Okay, so before he announces the result, he wants to give his speech, a short speech for the ministry before he announces the result. Sit down. All right, thank you.
Good evening, viewers. On behalf of the Honorable Minister of Education, Dr. Moruf Olatunji Alausa, Honorable Minister of State for Education, Hajia Suwaibai Ahmad, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Education, Dr. Sani Nasru Gwazo, the Director of Senior Secondary Education Department, Hajia Binta Abukadin, the Deputy Director, Senior Secondary Education Division, Mr. Shede Joseph Owoisho, and other members of the division, Senior Secondary Division of the Federal Ministry of Education. I wish to thank the organizers of this laudable program. I call it laudable because this is the first national e-debate among secondary schools in Nigeria. The program that has taken debate to the next level, as well as in line with the world best practices. Your initiative is commendable. This is a program that should be sustained. For states that participated, you are appreciated. And we encourage those who, for one reason or the other, could not make it to join this moving train next time. May I stress here that in a program of this nation, being the first time we're organizing it, it's bound to have some criticisms, some hiccups, and weaknesses. I therefore employ all to see this as one of those things that will be corrected in due course. Let the criticism be done in good faith, and they will help strengthen further organizations. To the organizers, once again, the ministry will do everything possible within its power to support you when the need arises, to help move education, communicative competence, and critical thinking of the Nigerian child forward. To the winners, I say well done. And the losers, remember there is tomorrow. It's another day. Brace up for subsequent ones. Thank you and safe journey to your respective states. Now to the results. Viewers who have just witnessed the final debate of the 2024 National E-Debate among secondary schools across the nation between Team Plateau State and Team Ogun State. You believe with me that it was a wonderful one, keenly contested, and a master stroke. The two teams have shown why they qualify for the finals. They have shown what it takes to be the best among the best. They have shown that their qualifications were not by accident or by a mere fluke. They put everybody on the edge till the last minute of the debate. Kudos to them and their coaches. Then to the judges, assessments, coaches, and results. For clarity, judgment was based on 4 criteria. 1, content. 2, style. 3, strategy. And finally, reply speech. But remember, there are nitty-gritties of these subheads I have mentioned now. That are what I call more than eye can see. It's not just, we have reasons why a team must win and a team must lose. So to the result proper. The judges observed that the team leads exhibited mastery of the motion, had their term defined and illustrated with examples. The 2 teams equally exhibited teamwork. We saw that they share their responsibilities. It's not one-man business. POI rates for team leads, the team leads were well attended to. Team Ogun believed that other factors, and they mentioned economic factor, mentioned social factors, as causes of crime in our society. But they still hinged the argument on poverty. Well, some statistical data were given, they're not proved. Most times they argued, I'm talking about Team Ogun. Most times they argue against themselves. This is the opinion of the judges, thereby giving points in support of the opposing side. Well, in terms of reply speech, it was well taken. Some POIs raised could not be linked with poverty. Therefore, Team Plateau State, reporters were handled well. They agreed with the proposing side, but stressed that it was not significant. And they listed their points and proved that some rich countries and individuals are involved in crime and not as a result of poverty. I just picked one, there are so many. Then the second supporting speaker focused more on palm cards, but listed more points to buttress this point. You know, we are saying you can use palm cards, but don't glue your eyes to that. So people should know. Then the reply speeches were well addressed and presented. And with this, the judges individually assessed these 2 teams, but collectively we came and looked at the results. Judge A awarded the win to Plateau State. Judge B, same to Plateau State. Judge C, equally Plateau State. So it means that we had unanimous decision. And with this, we declare Team Plateau the winners of this first edition of 2024 e-debate competition. Thank you very much. So how do we?
Okay, congratulations to the winning state, and also congratulations to the second runner-up, first runner-up. It's not easy for you to be here. In fact, you guys did well. So, but of course, one person must win. So, I want to congratulate you people, and let's welcome the commissioner again to come up on stage again. Commissioner, please, sir. I'm sorry to be disturbing you, sir. Now, we want to give, because of time, we want to give out the prize gift to the first runner up. Can you come up on stage with your coach? You can come. All right. Yes, wait. All right. Come. All right. Mr. Pamsek, can you join us on stage, sir, so you can give the medal to the second runner up, sir? Yes. So Mr. Pamsek will hand over the medals to the first runner up of this maiden edition of the 2024 Nationwide Inter-Secondary School e-debate competition. So I will, first of all, the coach, can you come? Snap. The chief speaker, come on. Don't cry, you have done very well. You have done very well. The chief speaker, come on. Congratulations, you have done very well. I should check him again perhaps. Okay, sir. Yeah. So this is for you. This is for you. This is for you. So, thank you, sir. All right, so let's welcome the Commissioner for Education to hand over the winning prize to the winners of the champion and the champion of the 2024 Nationwide Inter-Secondary School Debate Competition.
I was built to be the best, number one and nothing less. Lead me to my destiny. I have waited patiently. I have vision, oh I believe. I know I can count on me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up. Here we go, it's getting close. Now it's just who wants it most. It's just life, that's how it is. 'Cause we have our strengths and weaknesses. Oh, I have vision, oh, can't you see? I'm on the move, make way for me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up. I fall down, I have to pick myself back up. And when I fall down, I have to pick myself back up. And when I fall down, I have to pick myself back up. And when I fall down, I have to pick myself up. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. 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 Stand up. I was built to be the best, number one and nothing less. Lead me to my destiny. I have waited patiently. I have vision, oh I believe. I know I can count on me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up. Here we go, it's getting close. Now it's just who wants it most. It's just life, that's how it is. 'Cause we have our strengths and weaknesses. Oh, I have vision, oh, can't you see? I'm on the move, make way for me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions.